you doing? All right, let's go and take a look. Really good presentation so far. Let's go and take a look. Setup is beautiful. I think we're looking great so far. So we have I'm just going to go through page by page and just make sure that we're headed in the right direction. So we got the overview and the problem. The one thing we don't have here in this first page, you've got the overview and the problem, but we don't have how the app solution for the app solution proposal. So in other words, how does your app address the overview? More specifically, how does your app address the problem in terms of rectifying or offering viable solutions to that problem? Target audience is something I think we can really define that much deeper. My recommendation is to jump over to the Treehouse app and take a look at the way that target audience was developed there. I think target audience is really important to get that developed to a very high degree. 3 main features, that's fantastic. I would recommend in your main features, describe why those are main features. And of course, that points back to the app solution proposal as it relates to the problem that's created in the problem the overview and problem area. Okay, so what you want to do is tie in the main features with the problem and kind of decipher through the main features how they are addressing the problem. Competitors, I think, Hilllary, I think this is underdeveloped. I really do. And the problem I'm seeing with the competitors is this. You've got your competitors grouped into one little paragraph, okay? So by virtue of Hick's law, which means that the more that's associated, the more you add to one page, the less impact each element on that page has. So my recommendation is to create a complete separate section for competitors. I would say that in the competitive analysis, you would want to do 3 things. You would want to for each competition, you want to offer pros and cons in 3 different areas: the functionality and the features of the app itself, visual design of the app, and usability of the app, because those all 3 really matter. So basically what you do is name the competitor, describe their app, and then go into an analysis of the pros and cons of the functionality and features of that app, the visual design of that app, and the usability of that app. And you can see that in action in the Treehouse example. As a matter of fact, this designer did a fantastic job on the comparative analysis. A dedicated page for each, got a nice view of the way it looks in practice. So it's placed right in the iPad there. So that's fantastic. And note, functionality and features, visual design, and usability. So I think that's a really good way to look at competitive analysis. Let's jump back to, okay, research and brainstorming. So we need work there, of course, right? Screen sketches. My opinion or my approach as a designer is this: in any presentation, I think that it should be described. So I mean, sure, pictures are worth 1,000 words, but I would back this up with just a little description of what's going on here. Okay, and the same thing with your paper prototypes, just a little description of what's going on. Personas are fantastic, nice work, great job transposing your personas right into your scenario. I love it that you're using the same characters from the persona to that are transposed right to the scenario. So that's fantastic. Wireframes look great. Good job there. Really great job on your wireframes. They're gorgeous. Usability testing. Okay, the one thing I'm seeing in the usability testing that is missing is the criteria for the testing itself. I think that's really important. So, and again, I'll use the Treehouse example to show you how this designer handled right, here's usability testing. Just describe the criteria for the test, okay? So you can see here, the task 1 is to log in. Task 2 is to create a profile. Task 3 is to change the screen. Okay, so we have different things. Like task 4 is to lower the volume of sound. So these are things that would be presented to the user during the paper prototype testing, and they would point in the right direction, right? So that way you can describe the criteria of the test questions, and then you can give results on that criteria, okay? Try to stay away from, it's not really important at this time to include subjective takeaway, subjective feedback from your prototype and your user testing. And the reason is because I mean this could take months to do usability testing if we start getting into subjective analysis. So in other words, you don't want things like um, add pictures of farms. Okay, something like that, that's not relevant at this point. Right now, we're just trying to ascertain how the user understands navigation and wayfinding and general logic of the layout of the screens in relationship to one another. It's really, really important, so keep that in mind. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, research findings, that page that you're going to work on that page, right? That's that page that was blank. Target audience, persona, scenario, storyboards, wireframe sketches, wireframing, photographs of paper prototypes, summary of tasks for usability testing. I just mentioned that. Images or video of user testing. You got your images. That's fantastic. Written analysis summarizing the testing sessions, digital mock-ups of all screens, summary of design elements for the process. Okay, yeah. This is a process book, so you kind of want to summarize the design elements that you'll use in both the process book and the app itself. And again, Treehouse did that. Here's an example. Where is that page? Right here. So we've got the typefaces used and also the colors used. So that's fantastic. And then we have these wonderful screen mock-up pages too. So you'll want to include those in your process book as well. That's really important because that'll definitely give the viewer an idea of how this looks and how it feels. Okay. Other than that, I think you're looking fantastic. So if you have any questions at all, I think we're looking great. But just a couple of those little recommendations, I think we're good to go. All right. Great job. Questions, comments, concerns, please let me know, and I'll be glad to clarify. All right. Thank you very much.